Fallout New Vegas is an open world RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment, published by Bethesda Software. Has hundreds of hours of new gameplay, giant world to explore, quests, all that great stuff. We've got twice as many weapons as Fallout 3. It is a big, very big game.
Nice. What would you say like separates New Vegas from Fallout 3? Like if I'm a player from Fallout 3, should I consider this like like a direct sequel? This is like
it's not a direct sequel. It takes place slightly after Fallout 3, but it's not a direct sequel to that game. We're on the other side of the country, and that's pretty much the biggest difference right there. Unlike DC, Las Vegas was never hit by nukes. So we have power. The Hoover Dam was never hit by nukes. So we have power, we have a fully functioning Las Vegas Strip, we have gambling. We have bright blue skies, something you never saw in DC. We have vegetation, we have birds. There are actually birds out in our wasteland.
Wow.
Again, never saw any of that in DC. So it's different feel to the game.
Okay.
Also, we tried to expand a lot of the gameplay. We've made the game more accessible to people who like to play first-person shooters. We've added iron sights. We've tuned all the weapons so they work better outside of bats. Bats is still very much in the game. That's the turn-based, computerized system where it zooms in and you target people. But you can shoot from the hip if that's what you want to do. You can shoot with iron sights. We're supporting a lot more this time around.
Wait, when you mentioned the fact that there was a lot more weapons and stuff like that, can you give us some examples, some of the cooler ones? Or?
Sure. So our biggest gun, if you want to call it that, is actually an orbital laser that you can target, and you say, I want to kill that dude, and it goes big giant explosion. So everybody loves that. We've got the grenade machine gun, which is it's basically just a hose for grenades. It just fires grenades all over the place. We've got the anti-material rifle, which is an enormous sniper rifle. We have a lot of weapons in this game.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Okay, so let's say we buy the game, readers purchase the game. Where do we start? Like, what's the basic synopsis of the story? Like,
so your character, Fallout 3 started with you being born in a vault. We turn everything on its head. So at the start of our game, your character's a courier carrying something, and you are attacked, shot in the head, and buried alive in the Mojave Wasteland. And that's how we start the game. You wake up in a small town called Good Springs, and from there we have a very brief tutorial, which the player wants to do more with they can, but really we leave the world open to you, and you can go anywhere and do anything right from the start.
Okay, so does it share a lot of similarities with Fallout 3 in the sense of like decisions that you make affect
It does, but we've kind of branched on that a bit. So rather than having a straight linear storyline, our storyline branches pretty significantly into 3 possible paths, full paths, by the way. Within those, there are a lot of individual branches, but there's actually 3 completely separate paths that once you make your final decision which one of our factions you want to align with, the story branches pretty significantly, and that's about a little more than halfway through the game.
Very cool. Now, Bethesda, there's a lot of like these post-apocalyptic first-person shooters that are doing this year. What would you say is like your strength in sort of like separating yourselves from like the rest of the pack?
Well, I mean, certainly Rage is a pretty amazing game, but it's a shooter.
Yeah, exactly.
We're a pretty amazing game, but we're an RPG. I mean, they're very different beasts. Rage is a game where you got a gun in your hand and you're driving and you're killing, and it's awesome. I think Rage looks amazing. Have you seen it?
Oh yes, we saw it.
It looks pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Rage is your first-person shooter experience. We are, 100+ hours of RPG gameplay. We are a full open world that you're just not going to get Rage, which is cool. I mean, I don't want to compete with Rage. That would not be smart. So.
It's just this year, we were kind of surprised to come in here. It's sort of like this post-apocalyptic booth or something. So okay, I guess one final thing just to sort of like wrap this up, unless you want to ask anything.
Good.
Okay, just sort of say like, what's your one selling point? If you had to say one thing that's new with Fallout New Vegas that for people to get really excited about.
I mean, it's Vegas. I mean,
it's Vegas, baby.
It's Vegas, baby. I mean, that's all you really need to know. We've got gambling, we've got casinos, it's Vegas, and not only just Vegas. It's Vegas of like early 1960s. So I mean, this is Rat Pack era Vegas. This isn't Disneyland Vegas. This is real like Ocean's 11, Frank Sinatra Vegas.
Perfect. All right. Thanks a lot, man.
My pleasure.